Hey everyone, this is Vicky271 again. I will be reading chapter 1 today during this video. I actually tried to find one of those voice things online that would read the entire chapter so I didn't have to read it. But cheating doesn't help, so yeah. So this is chapter 1. Chapter 1, actually it's not chapter 1, it's the prologue, washing up. Move my laptop so I can sit up. The fanfic is called Sunshine Island. The prologue is called Washing Up, and you can find the story on fanfiction.com. If you go to the author's note, which is the last video, it should show up. So I will start reading. Washed Up. I had always had a passion for farming. At least, that's what Mom had always told me. She always commented on my passion for animals. You see, I spent all my time in the barn as a kid. Growing up on a farm, you should always take advantage of it. I would always be grooming the horses, or milking the cows, or just talking to them. I joined it in there, and Mom said that she noticed that the animals always enjoyed being with me as well. So it made it easier for her to take care of the farm when Dad died. I guess that's why when I decided to pick up and move out of Mineral Town to Sunshine Island, she wasn't very happy. "I need your help here," she would always say. "Do you really have to go?" But my response was always, "Mom, I'm a big girl. It's time for this big girl to hit the big world." It was hard for her, I know, but Grandma and Grandpa were going to move in with her. They were also living on a farm at the time, and they loved my mom's company. So the day before I left, they came for a visit. They told me that they were proud of me for taking this big step and offered to get me a starting animal. I refused. I wasn't much of someone to accept charity. "I'm not even going straight to Sunshine Islands," I said. "I'm going to the city first. I need to get a job so I can save up for the farm." When I left and got on the boat, there were many tears, and my family, my best friend Ellie. She was a nurse, and had settled down quite a few years ago with Dr. Trent. They were also expecting, and I had been very happy for them. But sometimes, when I was in my room thinking about Ellie, I would get jealous. It hadn't taken her very long to get married and settle down. In fact, it hadn't taken anyone in my town long to settle down. Not Papori, not Anne, not Karen, not Mary. Yup, everyone in town was married. Everyone except me. I often felt lonely for this very reason, and I wondered if there was anyone out there for me. Ellie and Dr. Trent stood by the rails with my family. Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, all of them. There were tears of sadness, tears of joy, tears of almost everything. I mean, I was going to be a while before I saw them again. The boat began to pull away as I waved one last goodbye to the most important people of my life. Then the dock vanished, and I was on my way to the city. I took one more look at Mineral Town, at the place I had once known as a childhood dream, the place I grew up in, but now I was off to bigger and better things. The first mate of the ship's name was Brock. He had been a close friend of my dad's before he died. Of course, Brock was devastated when he had died, but he had a way of continuing with his life, and as far as I knew it, he had never mourned over anyone. "Finally going out on your way, miss?" I turned around to see Brock leaning against the side of the wall. Side of the wall. His brown hair, with a hint of gray, easily gave away his age. Brock was beginning to get wrinkles and big ones, if I might add. They only ran down on his forehead and chin. Everyone could tell he was old. "Yeah, I guess you could say that." I looked back over the horizon and became mesmerized by the sun's change of scenery, the waves crashing over the side of the boat, the sea air blowing against my face, the fish dancing under the water. Yep, it was the most perfect day ever. I sighed. "Are days always like this out here?" Brock came over towards me and shook his head. "No, storms always pop up. You can never tell when they'll come." When Brock said storms always pop up, he was right 100%. A couple hours later, I could feel the sudden crash of the waves, which were now by no much fiercer. So because this video is all 5 minutes and because it's only halfway through, I'm going to stop it for there. I'm going to read that last paragraph again, the next part. So stay tuned for Chapter 1, Part 2.